Hey everyone, we are live with a special event today. I'm going to have several special guests come on and actually talk about the crypto market, talk about some projects they are bullish on. And this event is to help educate you on maybe what to do and what not to do in the crypto market, as well as put you on to some really amazing crypto projects and talk to some really special people. So right now I have Ben here. He is the CEO of NeoLaunch. He's actually one of my favorite people to speak to. We have a great conversation when it comes to the crypto market. Ben, why don't you introduce yourself for the people that might not know who you are?
Yeah, sure. So CEO and protocol lead of NeoLaunch, which is more or less a private investment syndicate and launchpad. We do all kinds of things from incubations to launching tokens, helping people more or less as a super connector in the space, getting people connected to the right VCs. Tokenomics for kind of a 360 lens. Our whole messaging has been around any promising Web3 idea from concept to market and beyond. And that's really been our bread and butter. So yeah, just an honor to be here, man. We always joke, we always flip shit back and forth with each other. We got to get our Luna cam set up. So I don't know if it's happening today, but in due time, eh?
I'm really excited. And we just had Poppy join us and Nick's join us. Poppy, you want to give like a little intro so people know exactly who you are?
I'm your pappy.
All right, I like that.
Just don't make him call you daddy, okay?
No. My last name is Papino. That's where Pappy comes from. First name is Matthew. I'm an advisor and consultant in the space, running a firm currently. It's going through a branding and a whole upkeep. But yeah, I'm advising on a couple handfuls of projects, consulting pretty heavily with launch pads, working with AI projects, gaming projects, RWA projects. I just locked in another one this morning. Me and Robert here have a meeting with after a big mining project, which is pretty exciting, Canadian-based mining project. I guess the best way to wrap it up about me is I'm a super connector. My superpower is people and nurturing relationships and building networks. Every single week, I usually obtain another 2 to 3 high level connections with people that build out my network and add to a variety of things that my agency can help with. And so the agency itself focuses on incubation and marketing. There's been the first length of the bull market has been really focused on a lot of fundraising, and recently it's been focused on a lot of incubation and getting ready for TGs and marketing, because there's been so much money still out there waiting to vest and happen. So it's kind of like one size fits all type of thing, or do a little bit of everything, but really focused on building relationships in the space. So having friendships like with Robert and others here is what it's all about for me.
Appreciate that, Poppy. Well said. Well done. Nix, wonderful Nix. You want to give a little quick intro and then we'll get into the market?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Ben. Hey, Poppy. Nice to see you guys. Sensei. I'm Nix. I work with Ben at NeoLaunch on the marketing side. So sad for them. I'm a little bit loud, a little bit chatty, a little bit too much.
I love that about you.
A little bit sweet. No, a lot sweet, actually.
Thank you. I love you guys. So I've been in the, crypto space for quite a while, since 2020. I actually got onboarded initially because I've been working with agencies and Web2 for a really long time. Typically in gaming or some sort of merchandise brand. I worked with Nike, LucasArts, Playboy, Samsung. Loved my time there, worked with a bunch of different agencies. And I actually moved into Web3 because Wax.io needed some help getting their gaming section off of the ground. And so it just sort of began this whole huge journey in Web3 and working on that, initial side of like the Web2, Web3 bridge, working with a lot of great projects. And it brought me all the way to Ben and NeoLaunch and, launching all these amazing high quality projects. So
Nix, you are a legend. You worked with some incredible companies. We're so lucky to have you and your knowledge here. Last but very not least, Lady Trader, thank you so much for joining us. Did you want to give a quick intro and how fantastic that you are, please?
Great. absolutely. Thank you so much for having me up here. Took me a little bit of time to figure out exactly how to get into this studio. I was actually looking on Discord. So yeah, absolutely. A little bit about me. I started my career in the investment world long time ago at a hedge fund. That's where I was exposed to the world of investments and worked there for a long time. Learned a lot about equities market and all of that, and then retired from that. And the reason why I left was because when you're working at a hedge fund, good luck day trading. Like that's not going to happen. And that was one area that I was interested in, and I wanted to basically do day trading and do the investments, all of those things. And so ended up retiring from there. Still worked as a contractor for them for a long time. Got into other instruments, options, forex, crypto around the same time, and then basically continued my journey. And what I've learned is that the kind of returns we see in crypto world, you cannot really see anywhere else, right? That's like one digital asset where the returns are phenomenal, especially coming from the equities market. You're used to seeing 25% a month return and you're celebrating like, yay, I beat S&P 500 and all of those things. And then you get into crypto and every day it's like, wow, what's happening? And so that was really my journey. And right now I'm a key opinion leader. I work with pretty much all of the major launch pads, some tier one projects, do a lot of consulting in Web3 as well. But it's been a phenomenal journey and surrounded by so many great people like yourself and Nix and Pappy, Ben, everybody. So yeah, great to be here.
It's fantastic to have so many great minds here. And Kayla, I have you on mute real quick. I'm going to bring you in just a second. If you guys can, please go out and retweet and share the space. We're trying to get as many people to hear this conversation to really help them and educate them in the crypto market. Kayla, I'm going to bring it to you next. Just want to do a quick intro, and then we'll get into the crypto market.
Hey everyone, this is my first time using StreamYard, so sorry for any.
It's a learning experience.
Unmiking and unintentionally. Should I just give a quick intro to who I am?
Yeah, please. We'd love to hear it.
So my name is Kayla. I have my own company called Tech Enrichment, which is basically focused on growth and development in general. Ideally, I want to start focusing on like educating people in Web3, but yeah, and AI. Mostly I've done growth and development for other projects, especially like PR tech, which is kind of a niche area, and just doing some research for PR companies, growth and development. I got really invested in like decentralized AI research and took a year off to just do decentralized AI research this past year, and it's been really rewarding. So I've had a lot of time to like come into spaces with Lady Trader and Nick, so that's been nice too, and that's how we met. So it's been nice to just kind of have some research development freedom.
I love that, Kayla. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now that we have a good idea of who we're dealing with on this experience, this live stream, I wanted to put it out there. If anyone wants to take this, what are the hottest narratives? Because I know you guys see pretty much all of them, and you understand what is what people are investing in, what institutions are looking at. What is the biggest narrative in crypto right now? Is it DePIN? Is it AI? Is it something else? I'd love to just kind of throw it out there, and anyone could grab this one.
Jump in.
I can go. Oh, Pappy, you want to go first?
We'll go Poppy then Lady.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, right now, I mean, it's really interesting. It goes in these seasons, and it was really cool. I would say about 9 months ago when we really started to see the official narratives coming through for this market, and it really comes in waves when people get excited, and then the conversation starts, and then liquidity starts to enter into different spaces, and you see natural marketing happening from charts starting to pump, right? And one of the major narratives that I saw really come in very hard was the Solana narrative, and then the meme coin narrative came in really hard. So those have been encompassing, as well as consistently through the bear market into still consistently now is gaming and AI, right? So we see these kind of waves of different narratives come. Like when base came through, all of a sudden the base narrative on meme, in the meme culture, started to become a really strong narrative. And then, recently over the past 3 months, you saw the peekaboo of RWA and DePIN starting to kind of make its way in. And, and then, you see, some hopes and people's dreams around NFTs and that narrative coming back maybe towards the end of the market. It's really an attention-based economy where people's attentions are, the stories that are being told, the emotional impact that those stories have on people will actually draw people's attention, which draws people's capital, their liquidity, their everything, right? I saw this really, really cool interview with the founder from Animoca Brands, our friend, mutual friend Gav from Wolf Financial did this interview at Consensus last week with him. And he talked about how blockchain is so much to do with, the social-based, attention-based culture and how the network effect works within that. And so, the blockchain technology in many ways and democratized attention and finance. So, I'd say the narratives right now that are really, really, really strong. I think DePIN has come through in a big way. RWA has been really, really coming through. The meme coins are just not going away. They're
not going away, dude.
Going away. It feels like it's been this extended start of the bull market, which usually in the bull market meme coins pump. So it's kind of good because it means we're not like at tops. We're still maybe at the beginning. But yeah, those have been the main narratives that I've seen. And then on top of that as well, too, I think this market's been different. In many ways, people are starting to tap more and more into like the VC mindset of things. Yeah. How to get involved in earlier funding, how to get involved in earlier rounds, and also more VCs have come in. Whether that's good or bad, we can discuss. But yeah, I think that's been my outlook on the narrative so far in the space.
And we're going to go to Lady Trader in just a second. I just want to add, like, when you first get into crypto, you are basically buying with regular people. You see a project that launches, and then you go to buy it. And then you get a little bit more educated, and then you want to get into pre-sales, right? And you're like, well, what kind of pre-sales can I get into? And then you realize that, hey, there are people and institutions getting in way before pre-sales, right? And then you start to get educated on that fact. And then you want to get access to early stage rounds where you can make the most money. There's a little bit of time and wait there depending on the project, but that's where people are making the most money. But let me throw it over to Lady Trader. I know you have some great input to add to this conversation.
Oh, absolutely. I think one thing that we really need to pay attention to is everything related to Bitcoin, because now Bitcoin, we have the ETFs, right? Institutions are really heavily investing in Bitcoin. And this bull market, this time, it's going to be very much Bitcoin focused, because that's one area where all the governments are investing in, right? We have pension plans that are going to be investing in it as well. There's already discussions around it, right? And so anything related to Bitcoin, we need to keep an eye on, whether it's BRC-20, whether it is, mining operations, things like that. Definitely those are going to be big plays this bull run, right? That's one area. The others, obviously, AI, DePIN, already Pappy talked about it. RWA, right? RWA is big narrative this time as well. Gaming, which I think we haven't even started to see, any big movements yet, but that's going to be another big category to keep an eye on. Of course, everything related to AI. I mean, we have projects that are doing so much innovation in it. Twin Protocol, one example, obviously, great, right? They're building digital twins, and so those are the kind of projects that we need to be keeping an eye on. But then also major things that are happening in the world right now. For example, there are narratives around politics, or narratives around different sectors, right? What's going on in the stock market right now with GME, AMC, all of these. And so ultimately there are plays that are happening parallel to those narratives in crypto world as well, right? That's basically, there are so many things. So current events, whatever is happening, whatever is hot, no matter what, where it is in the world, whether it's the stock market or whatever, we need to figure out, okay, how does this help me in crypto world, right? So those are really the things. And then meme coin, there's going to be like one prediction that I've had for a while now is that we could potentially see a meme coin ETF this time during this bull market, right? And if that happens, that's going to take meme coins to a whole new level. I can almost I'd be very surprised if at the end of 2025 we don't have a meme coin ETF. I'd be surprised. And so if that happens, I mean, we are looking at meme coins being a legit digital asset that is institutional backed, so those are really that's a big overview of what I'm looking at.
I love that. I love it. And I want to throw it over to Ben next, because Ben is kind of the man who sees a lot of, VC type deal projects. He sees a lot of things early, and his company NeoLaunch actually provides access to a lot of early rounds. And so Ben, I want to throw it to you. What are you seeing right now that's coming through your pipeline that it's just people are buying it up really, really quickly. Obviously, there's things that get sold out very quickly, and there's things that kind of sit around. So what are the things that are hottest right now for you, and what are you seeing in the market?
Sure, yeah. So it's kind of two-pronged here. The first prong being what's making people excited, and the second prong being what should be making people excited, right? So what's making people excited? We've talked a lot about it. We've obviously RWAs are spicy, AI is spicy. The issue with this is that listen, money in Web3 is easy. Let's call a spade a spade. Like it's easy to get a paycheck from people. VCs hand out $50,000 checks, $200,000 checks, $1.5 million full exclusive round commitments, right? And it's easy to buy into the hype with botted accounts and all the other things. And there's a lot of ways to make things seem appealing, but the reality is, unless you have a proper underwriting team, unless you have specialists in the research department to be able to get into the code and the API sourcing and the integrations and the technological specifications of what these AI claims are, guess what? You're buying into a lot of these AI projects are smoke and mirrors. Like they're just fucking copy paste. I'm sorry, Sensei. Are you okay with my?
This is
rather
an adult channel.
With my vernacular. Okay, good.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, and so like a lot of this stuff is copy paste Chat GPT shit, man. Like it's just it is what it is. You take basic tokenomic infrastructures. There's templates all over the place. You throw on a Chat GPT spinoff, and that's a facade that'll sell because it has somewhat desirable vesting or valuation tiers, so have you. In my opinion, what should be making people excited is, and this is going to sound a little bit of a juxtaposition coming from someone that does like a syndicate launchpad cross with NeoLaunch, fair market launches. This is why meme coins are exploding right now. It's because what you don't have are the endless amount of backers that are just bouncing on the opportunity to sell the shit out of your token the second that they have unlocks and create unsustainable price action. So I think we're moving into a market, and this kind of ebbs and flows and delves into a significantly larger conversation around what's going to drive success. We've seen a lot of flat launches lately. What's going to drive long-term sustainable success for projects? It's not the traditional model of a VC round, strategic, private, KOL, et cetera, until you have 5 different tiered, unlock mechanisms, and then you have sell pressure for 18 months. Your chart goes flat, and then you're praying that you can do some OTC deals to kind of reverse the price action. What people are going to be looking for, and what I think is the most bullish fucking narrative in the market today, is can you hand select your VCs? Do you know the exact quality and expectations from your KOLs? And can you do a fair market launch in the pockets that are actually going to drive like brand exposure around use cases and real world application? If the answer is yes, you're in a position to succeed. But we've seen it a lot. Listen, people are doing the same approach as this market that they did last market, and not being just take my money, I'm gonna sell the unlocks. There's a reason why all these projects are dipping below. So yes, I think RWAs, I think AI is certainly hot topics in the market today. Whether or not they should be, I think we're a little immature to be able to handle the proper due diligence and technological analysis as it pertains to AI projects. Even VCs, like tier 1 VCs, are not. There's a reason why you're not seeing a lot of leading ticket in these AI projects that promise the moon and then some. It's because their underwriting departments don't have the people on the team, generally speaking, to be able to assess whether or not it's smoke and mirrors or it actually solves for something in the space. So yeah, man, this is a huge topic, and it's exciting nonetheless. So thank you for bringing us all together. And there's a lot of brilliant people. I will say though, lady, I agree with you with 95% of the time. No way are we saying a meme ETF. Zero chance. Zero chance.
Oh snap!
Zero. I would bet $100,000 right now that we don't see.
Let's go to one of those meme launchers and launch a meme coin right now that has some type of functionality in it that is a bet that will never happen.
I will say though, I respect the shit out of the claim. That is bold, and I love it. I just disagree with it.
Ben,
please respond, lady. If you want to respond, go for it.
So, yeah, I would love to respond to that. There's actually already been questions on institutional level about a potential meme coin ETF. There's already been an index created for that. So, like I said, I'd be surprised. I would bet if I was not a Muslim, I would definitely take that bet. But
fair. I respect that, lady.
Confident on that. I would love to see that. Yeah.
We'll have to do like I don't know. We'll have to figure out a way to do something around it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I mean, I think the SEC is still out for blood in the water right now.
I think they've had a lot of losses, and Gary's, he was really trying to get the treasury job, right? That's where he's trying to get to. And I think that his experience in the SEC, I think we all thought, well, at least I thought Gary Gensler was going to be a good thing for the crypto market because he was educating people on blockchain technology. I did not think he was going to get in there and say everything's a security and he was going to sue everybody. So I think
he became a politician and he pandered.
He did.
He pandered, right? And you know what? What's an interesting thing is I think that the ETH ETF actually came through is because the Biden government, who said that they would absolutely not allow anything to come to their desk in regards to crypto, that he would automatically, say no, is because they saw how many people on X and how many people on Trump's side were really, really interested in cryptocurrency and really, really looking to cast a vote based off of that. Because I'm generally like socially pretty left, economically not. But the thing is like, all of a sudden ETF went through and Biden said, yeah, right? So it's just, gather what votes you can leading up to the election, get what you can coming through, which is, these are massive things for cryptocurrency. Obviously, Bitcoin ETF, I could say to any of my friends that say, oh, what should I do about Bitcoin? I'm just like, hey, stupid, I told you 2 years ago, start DCAing $500 to $1,000 a month and don't even fucking look at it. On a big red day, put your $1,000 in and put it down. It's all good. Now it's like, okay, so all I say to them is like, oh, what should I do about crypto? It's so risky, blah, blah, blah. Well, I say, okay, it's the riskiest asset class in the space. Try to be as conservative as you can about it. Best way you can do that is look at who the richest people are in the world that are the geniuses of money. BlackRock and those massive institutions are what they're doing because they're the experts at making money. So if all of a sudden they make an ETF, here's an example. The ETH ETF coming through is a massive thing for the industry because it takes a lot of exposure off, say, a lot of the other, projects that are launching off of Ethereum and other questionable projects within that space. So it takes a little bit of pressure off of them. But I think these are just massive wins for the foundation of the industry. I think it's incredible, really.
Well, I think when you have 50, I guess the numbers were floating around, the news media is that there's like 50 million people in the US that kind of own crypto or, their family members own crypto. And it's a large number, regardless of what the actual number is. It's a significant number. And I think right now, this is actually helping crypto holders because both sides are now going to have to fight over cryptocurrency, which is insane, right? We have all of these other things going on in the world, but crypto is becoming like a forefront of the conversation now. And I do think the Biden administration is definitely pressured to do some pro crypto stuff, but he just vetoed, the SOB 121 Act. And so I don't want to get really too in the weeds in politics here, but I think it's going to be beneficial for crypto holders, especially if the U.S. is the biggest crypto, the biggest crypto community, or all the money, and a lot of the money in the crypto market is coming from the U.S. So, anyways, let's switch topics here. We're kind of touching on regulation here. I want to understand, when you look at the crypto market, right? Are we really at the stage that all of this technology is actually built out? Institutions, big companies are using it, or are we more kind of in the we're still speculating that all of this technology is going to be used on a massive scale? Where do you guys feel we are right now? Are we still a few years away from real crazy adoption of all this technology, or are we there right now? It's just maybe happening a little bit behind the scenes.
Oh, I'd love to jump in on this one.
Please.
Thank you. So for the last year, I had and I say this with grace, the pleasure of working with enterprise AI and working with some major cloud services. And I remember having a lot of these conversations with people about cryptocurrency and Web3 because whenever I was onboarded, I remember some of these big companies having deals on the table with some brands and notable companies that I remember from working in Web3. But then I remember thinking to myself, why is it still on the table? So what I've noticed is that it's almost like the foundation was starting to be built and then they had to stop it, I feel. And I feel it was for market reasons. I feel it was because I don't think companies were ready to associate their business and their name with anything that had to do with Web3. I remember, for instance, I remember trying to pitch to a group of people to attend a conference in Vegas that was Web3 related, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we'll attend crypto conference, but not Web3." And I was like, oh, okay, wait. Like, that's the same thing, you guys. And like, no, it's not. Web3 is bad. I was like, okay, so major education gap. But then we also have all of these companies waiting. This is what I saw. They're waiting to integrate everything that we're building here. They're just waiting for the market narrative to change. So, and I'm not sure when that change is going to be. Go ahead, Sensei.
Nix, do you think that we're seeing regulation happening in the UK with Mika or Miko, however you say it? Canada's rolling around, Japan's, like all of these countries that the US trades with are fully adopting cryptocurrency, and they're trying to change their infrastructure for instant payment, instant settlement. I think we're getting a lot closer than we were in the past. Do you think that's going to force other players like the US and some other countries that might not have crypto adoption? You think that that's going to help us along? And then do you think the bigger impact will have all of these companies will then feel safer getting into crypto or using Web3 technology?
Oh, goodness.
That's a big question, I know. Sorry.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't know, because I'm like, yeah, whatever I say, like, I'm not really sure if it's accurate. But I mean, I would say that, what have we seen? Typically there is a global effect. Yes. So if like other countries are adopting it, obviously we have connections with countries and whatever verticals and industries that we collaborate with them. And yes, there's going to be ways that we want to continue doing business and find a way to merge with whatever industry, standard that they're setting in that country. But I also find when it comes to adoption, this is a feedback loop. This is a feedback loop that starts with the request of customers or the request of the public having a conversation with businesses. So I find that a lot of the things, like sometimes when people in Web3, when we get discouraged, if, are we doing enough? If like, are we just like an echo chamber, just speaking to the same people every day? It's like, no, like we're here. What we're doing is really powerful because we're keeping the narrative alive for when people are ready to come in here and learn. So that's why, like when we're on Wolf Spaces, one of the major questions we're always asking is, how good is your intro level education for your project on your website? Like, everybody asks that, right? We need to know that when we start bringing in some great solutions for businesses, great solutions for their customers, that we have the ability to onboard them very seamlessly. So I guess to sum up the question, yeah, obviously, yeah, that's going to have a major effect. And I also would just encourage everybody to keep going in this space. It's having an impact.
Well said, Nix. I think what we're seeing is a lot of people coming into the Web3 space to build, but these people are coming in with Web2 mindsets, and they don't know how to market in Web3, because I run into this all the time. Great product, intelligent team, they can deliver on their promises, but they suck at actually Web3 marketing. They're always like, oh, we're going to write these articles and we're going to put them in all these places that crypto people never check or never learn. And it's so great that you're educating people that'll never buy the token. So, I'll throw this to everybody. What is the most important thing that a new crypto project can do to really help market that project to people that are actually going to buy the token? If anyone has anything, please.
Oh my gosh. Please let me jump in that one.
Yeah, okay. Go for it, girl.
We all want to talk on
like,
that.
That is my passion, because this is why I'm here. I came here to bridge Web 2 and Web 3. What people get wrong with Web 2, and it's just like, I hope I don't upset people with this, but stop with the growth hacking. Like, I'm sorry, but like, stop doing, and I say that in a very specific context, not growth hacking in the sense of, just, basic practices, but I mean, just like fabricating numbers. It does not work. Really, what has always worked in cryptocurrency is network and community. So, and I will use this as an example. So one of my favorite case studies is Lego. I think Action, if he was here, he would just scold me because I accidentally said Legos. The last time I brought up this case study is Lego. So, they were massively in debt for a period of time. And so whenever they changed their marketing strategy, instead of trying to just come up with all these random solutions, fabricate engagement, fabricate some sort of like new product that they could put out in the market. Instead, they doubled down on their community, and they started creating a really strong feedback loop with their community, and their community gave them exactly what they wanted. And something that I've noticed, a project that I think a lot of us are familiar with on who does that right now is Shibtoshi's project, Squidgrow. If you go into their server, he literally has such a strong connection with his community. He's creating products according to what his community is asking for, and they're solving real world issues that people are having in the crypto space. I'm not suggesting that everybody does that, but that's the power of Web3, and that's why part of the whole process is us decentralizing that from a grand scale, with the way that we do business, the way that we speak, the way that we listen to people, the way that we sometimes do our DAO systems, the way that we give insight to people of how we're building, where we can create our feedback loops with people really, really early that can kind of, affect the way that we are building a business. Like those are traditionally not things that are considered marketing. It's a culture crafting process in a way, but it is under the marketing umbrella. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. I could talk about that for hours, but I'm gonna stop right now. Let somebody.
I think.
Oh, go ahead, Robert. I would love to jump in on that after.
I'll come right to you after this, Poppy. I think what I'm hearing when you're talking about this, Nix, is that if you have a great community that supports you already, how can you better get them engaged to help support the project? Pretty much everywhere on social. How can you really start talking to them and really get people to push out and join in and be a part of what you're creating there, that kind of ecosystem? I mean, you explained it much more beautifully than I did, but thank you for that. Let's go over to Poppy. And also, Nix, I want to see, you brought up a project Satoshi, and I don't really know that. Can you send it over so I can link it in the description so people can look that up? It sounds like that might be a cool something for someone to research. So can you just send it over to me on Telegram and I'll post it? All right, cool. Poppy, to you, my brother. And then I want to get Lady Traders after, because I know she's got some incredible information on this.
If you do take interest in Squidgrow, I can put you in contact with Shib as well too. He's a friend of mine, and he's got a really cool story. He's got an epic presence, like his branding and how much energy and time he's putting in it. But he's a Shib token billionaire. He got in on Shib day one. Yeah, I think 35K day one or whatever, and hasn't sold like a token or something. It's crazy story. But yeah, I mean, I just want to circle back. Like, is everybody okay? So everybody knows, how about we talk about just being a genuinely good human being, Okay. And so if we could say there's different perspectives around that, right? Like, it's whatever your political views are, morality, ethics, those type of things. But I think democratization of finance and attention, and what blockchain really brings to the forefront in many ways as a technology, is this network effect. So what does your network represent? Like, who the fuck are you? And how do you show up as an individual, right? And this is the thing where I have managed to build a pretty substantial network very quickly of really amazing people without having really, I don't put posts on X. I'm not on YouTube. I'm not a social media master. I'm on a lot of spaces, and I've reduced that because I have so much going on. And whenever I jump on a space, there's more deal flow. And I'm like, okay, that's enough, right? Let's do really good quality stuff with what I got. It's because when I connect with people, they trust who I am as an individual and the authenticity that comes through, because also the people around me are like that as well too. Because really the opportunity to build community based off of making friendships and relationships with people. Like the first time me and Sensi connected was on a Wolf space. Some conversation happened. And then we went into the DMs, and I was about to go out to a party or something. I was like, dude, let's just jump on a call. Give me a call. I got long distance. I'm in Canada, right? We jumped on the call, and we talked for an hour, and it was really cool. It was really nice. We became friends, right? And the amount of work that we've done so far together has been pretty spectacular, and it's about to ramp up quite considerably. And that comes from a place of actual like trust and friendship. That's why I'm a big advocate for like trying to get to IRL events and being around people as much as possible. And actually seeing people like in their spot. Like today I was on a call with Action and we were chatting because he's coming on as an advisor for one of the mining projects I'm starting to work with. And anyways, he was in his like backyard on his deck with like a pellet gun shooting squirrels because they were attacking his nut trees and his fruit and stuff like that, right? And I'm just like, all of a sudden I was like, this is Action. I know who this person is, right? So you can gauge pretty quickly who you want to keep close to you, because who you keep close to you is who you become. So you better have people around you that are really good people, that are really nice, kind, also top level, really talented, really smart, all of those things. And then the network effect of that is quite substantial. Where in Web 2 marketing, it's like, how much fucking money can I throw at this?
Yeah.
I've had massive VCs come up to me recently. A ex-CEO or ex-CMO from the Cardano business side of things, who used to be a close friend of mine, he came up to me and he was just like, okay, these massive VCs have come to me recently and they're seeing what's happening in the meme coin space and they're interested, right? Because they're seeing meme coins pump to $1 billion. They're like, we have 20 meme coinage contracts ready to go. We're going to start launching meme coins. And Pappy, we just need you to come in and get these meme coins up to 5 million. And if they get up to 5 million, we got $20 million ready to go, right? And I'm just like, send me the meme coins. They launched 2 of them. They were at like 5,000 market cap. They were absolutely garbage. And I'm just like, guys, you just don't understand. Like, this is not how marketing is going to work. You don't, even if I try to tell you how marketing and network effects happens in the grassroots within Web3, and I try to explain it, you'll still be like, I got money. What do I do with it? You know? And it's just like, sorry, like, you know, in this space, people call each other retards and degens, right? And you have to understand like that it's a different type of vibe and a different type of energy, and things work in a different way. And you have to get really into it. You have to really understand it, and you have to be attacking things from different angles, from a place of when you enter a room, people are like, oh, there's a connection here. You know, people, like I said this before, and I say it more and more now, people don't usually remember what you say or what you do because there's so much going on, right? They're so distracted. There's a lot going on in their family, their work, but they remember how you make them feel, right? They remember the feeling, so that when you come back in the room, they're like, oh yeah, Pappy, right? Like, I need to do business with that guy. Or, oh, what's he up to? You know, what is he working on? You know, like, what is he, oh, like, you know, the times that I've been like, Robert, it's been like, hey dude, like, let's talk about this thing. I'm like, hey, I'm rock climbing today, man. I'll see you in a little bit or whatever, right? Like, let's talk business in 6 hours, right? I think that's really important for people to understand about marketing in this space, is it's going to happen based off of relationships. And if you can make 10 really phenomenal relationships that are very good, but people that are better than you at a lot of things, you're going to do really well in this space, because your network is going to be like, it's going to activate in the right way. And it doesn't matter how much money you throw at things. It's going to be more based off of that. That money will just come. It'll just start coming.
Appreciate that. Lady, you're probably one of the top marketing people that I know. You're connected to pretty much everybody. Do you have some, you know, what should Web3 companies that have good technology, they have good leadership, what should they be doing to really stand out and really get their product in front of more people?
I think there's going to be 2 more things that I can throw into the, everything else that Pappy and Nick's touched on. So one thing is, obviously, you want to have top-notch ambassadors for the project, right? Whether it's the community ambassadors or the KOL ambassadors, absolutely necessary, right? So if you have a project that's, raising millions and millions of dollars, but they are not really spending money on KOL marketing, then that's something that needs to be addressed, right? That's almost like a red flag. Second, thought leadership. This is one area where even the best leaders, when you meet with them, you can see the kind of leaders they are. They are available to the community, all of those things. But then when it comes to the actual thought leadership, as far as the social content goes, that's missing. And that really, so I'll give you one example. SingularityNet is one of the top AI projects, right? AGIX, Binance listed. That has been one project that I have always looked up to because of that strong thought leadership coming from Ben Goertzel. Like, he is the person. If I needed to know, okay, what's going on in the AI world, in the blockchain, this is the person I look up to, right? That's where I get my information from for AI, because of that strong thought leadership. We have other coins too that are like top-notch coins in AI. I didn't really look; they were good. Like, I would invest in them, but I wouldn't really look up to them for leadership. Now, what's happening right now is we have the ASI merger coming up, which is going to be the biggest merger in the AI history, in the blockchain. So Fed, Ocean Protocol, and SingularityNet combining into one ASI coin. That's going to be a huge deal, right? And who is leading that charge? Ben Goertzel from SingularityNet, right? And why? Because of his thought leadership. When he speaks, people listen. And so what we see is nowadays with projects, they have strong socials, like lots of numbers, all of those things. But then they're putting content out that's just like Chat GPT, copy and paste. There's no thought leadership. Guys, if you don't have thought leadership, how are you going to motivate your community, right? But then there are projects that are actually doing that thought leadership. SingularityNet, one of them. Ferrum Network, doing a great job. Taha is just getting out there, with Bitcoin ecosystem. You can see that thought leadership coming out. We see these kind of thought leaderships. And once you see that, obviously it motivates the community. Shiptoshi, from Squid Grow, next touch based on that, great thought leadership there, right? And so to motivate the community, you want to have that kind of leadership and be out there. That's important. And for all of these projects that we are seeing right now, the charts are not doing really, really good with the most IDO projects that are coming out, right? In the gaming industry, for example, or gaming category. But there is no strong thought leadership when it comes to content. So to be able to do that, you want to make sure that there is a strong thought leadership coming from the leaders that are involved. They're able to motivate the community, and then there are also very, very strong KOL ambassadors that are supporting the project long term, not just for a month, not just for 2 weeks, right? Not just putting one tweet out there, but how can you partner with those KOLs that are out there on a long-term basis to where they are actually partnering with you, advising you, all of those things.
Wow, you added so much to that, lady. Thank you so much. You know what I'd really like to talk about, guys, is we understand that right now, community coins, meme coins, they're going crazy. And if you get the right meme coin at a good price, you could make a lot of money, right? We know AI is hot. We know DeepIn's hot. Are you guys seeing any other narratives that are kind of in the shadows right now that are going to be big maybe over the next 6 to 12 months? Or are we kind of just going to be, this bull market is going to be the AI, the DeepIn, Bitcoin, ecosystem? Is that all we have? Or is there something else growing that maybe people aren't paying attention to?
There are a couple of things, actually. One, I would say gaming. That's a big one to keep an eye on. There is going to be major adoption. And so keep an eye on that. The second narrative, I think that's going to be big. This bull run is going to be around digital identities. That's going to be another narrative where we are basically talking about blockchain-based, SBTs, soul-bound tokens, things like that. I think that's going to be a bigger narrative. And so keep an eye on that one. And then obviously NFTs. We have not seen the kind of volume that we want to see during a bull run. NFTs are going to be big this bull run. There's going to be major adoption. When we talk about bridge Web3 and Web2, right?
Let's hope.
But it's gonna happen. I mean, things don't happen overnight, right? We have over a year and a half remaining in our bull run. I would like to see more and more companies, bridging to Web3 through NFTs, things like that, right? Major companies, major Web2 brands. I think we are going to start to see that. There's going to be a lot of opportunities in those areas. So yeah, those are like 3 big areas for me that I'm keeping an eye on. 3 big upcoming narratives that we have not seen much movement in so far.
That's huge. Does anyone have anything to add to that?
Oh yeah, I do. Just really quickly, and then I'm gonna want to bounce it over to Ben. But so we were on that space recently on Wolf with Game On.
Yep.
Yeah, and I really loved how their narrative around NFTs was. They really just wanted to design. They wanted to design their app so people didn't really know they were purchasing NFTs whenever they, purchasing their players, or I'm not huge in fantasy games, but I love the whole concept of it. But it just made me really excited to see that we're at that point now where we're starting to figure out how to embed it in the process where nobody needs to learn anything extra. to be a part.
Yeah, I think, and just to add what you're saying, Nix, I think when people are using the technology, but they don't even know they're using the technology, that's when we've reached adoption, right? That is what we're trying to achieve with all of this Web3 stuff. If you're sending money, if you're doing fantasy sports, whatever it is that you're doing, if you can just do that without realizing it's Web3 in the background, that's really, really big. Ben, I know you had some stuff to talk about on this session. Go for it, man.
Well, yeah, I'm just going to say 10 seconds on the last segment around marketing. And that's Poppy hit the nail on the head. Every single person here, and Poppy, this is the first time I'm meeting you, but I can tell you got it figured out. People here in this call understand that you are your network, period,
Yeah.
hands down. If you don't have the relationships, you're fucked. I mean, listen, everyone, like I said earlier, everyone has money. Who has influence? And who has influence when they don't care if you have a massive ROI, right? And so that's all I have to say on that front. What I will say on this topic specifically is I think the big thing here, honestly, is around, it doesn't necessarily, we've seen case study and case study and case study. It doesn't matter what the product is. Yes, the product needs to be solving for something. It needs to have functionality. Memes have told us something valuable, and people need to recognize that memes have given us the copy paste format for everything needed to be successful in this space. And that's identify the problem, but focus on the culture and the community. If you look at this teeter-totter of marketing and paid marketing versus retention, guess what? Web 2 will tell you gotta bring that massive funnel out, man. Fuck, paid ad placements everywhere on all the YouTube videos. That doesn't matter if you don't have a robust conversion mechanism in place focused on retention. So yes, I do think there's certain hot pockets here and there around gaming. I mean, I'm a gamer at heart, man. I remember waking up summer break back in the day playing World of Warcraft, eating some freaking Cheerios. Like, trust me, I'm that person, okay? And I think that the solution, listen, is to Nix's point, you need the Web 2 interface and onboarding. They got it figured out. That's a science. You need that. You need to recognize and have the Web 2 flywheels in place where you can interact with the ecosystem through a Web 2 lens. But by the way, here's these drips, these breadcrumbs for you to be able to move into the Web 3 microtransactions with the strong underpinning of the Web 3 culture and community. Because if you don't have the culture and community and an avenue to be able to connect Web 2, Web 3, this isn't science. This isn't breathtaking stuff, man. It's just people aren't doing it. I don't know why people aren't doing it. But if you take the Web 2 onboarding, the Web 3 culture community, and blend those two with flywheels, you're fucking golden. Right. And so I think it's less specifically about the product. And I do think AI is hot if done properly. I do think RWAs are hot if done properly, but people need to conceptualize. And I think, listen, there's only so many. We saw this even last bull market, man. It's like there's hundreds of thousands of coins launched every single day. It's not going to change how much money's in this space. Some people lose, some people gain. There's not like we're printing new fucking money, okay? Yeah. So it's like the more coins we have, guess what? If these coins are going to move at all, we have to take away from some areas to add to other areas. And some people's gains are other people's losses, and that's the reality. So I think if people can focus on culture and community and prove that there's actual validity in their market positioning with a quality founder, and that's it too, man, is like you need to recognize, and people need to recognize in general, look at Twitter. Elon Musk's followers versus X followers, right? And there's something to be said around people buy into the vision. And yes, product and technological parameters matter and specifications matter, but you need to have the team, you need to have the vision, you need to have the flywheels established, and a strong emphasis on community culture. Again, nothing science, nothing crazy here that people don't already know. It's just putting pen to paper on thoughts.
Rob, can I just say one thing?
Please.
It's really interesting that the spread of liquidity in a market where like the whole crypto market itself is worth like less than Apple or Google, right? Like we're in a space that is very, very speculative and incredibly fringe currently still. There's talk about Bitcoin, there's ETFs, there's tech that's coming through. There's important things that are coming through into the culture. But it's still incredibly innovative and it's very, very early, right? And so there's a lot of opportunity to like be a part of something. You know, people can come into this space and not have a tech background, not have a corporate background, not have a financial background, and actually find their way in this space. I'm one of those people, right? And it's like, so it's really, really interesting to see, you know, the liquidity spread. Lady Trader was talking about NFTs coming into the market. A lot of people that are like ETH maxis and, you know, are strong in that space. They're like, you know, they're not massive supporters of maybe NFTs because it takes liquidity out and puts the cost of gas up on Ethereum because there's more trading happening. And there's all these market effects, right? But I think no matter what, like the kind of the motto that I've taken, and I'll cap it at this, like the motto that I've taken is like, this space is so new and it has the opportunity to actually solve some pretty substantial things, I think, in our world, specifically with blockchain, maybe further with Bitcoin, maybe further with smart contracts, maybe further with the realization of culture being a part of things that, were very separate before, like traditional finance, for example. People are like memes. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's literally people using their attention and energy and moving something. Culture, art, energy, people. It's what's happening behind every single project, but it's all like stacked in pretend utility and vaporware and all this fucking shit, right? You got a meme coin that has a fair launch, with maybe like, a lot of liquidity and all those things, and people come and it's a good meme coin and people like it and people are together. Most people are not making money in this space. They're sticking around because they have friends here and they enjoy what's going on and it's attractive and it's bringing them in, right? So, there's a lot of variables here, but I really love the point about like, just reminding people like, we are so early, and if you can stick with something and figure out what your talent is and what your skill set is in the space and build your network diligently, then you're going to have the opportunities to make a mark here, and then potentially you can make a lot of money and do well, maybe not in 6 months, maybe in 5 years, maybe in 10 years. If you can make $1 million in 10 years or $5 million in 10 years, you are doing a lot better than the rest of the world. People don't do that in their lives. A lot of people don't do that in their lives, right? So, yeah.
I think it's perception, Poppy. I think, people want to like jump the gun, right? They want to be like, I want to make $1 billion. Okay, well, let's figure out how to make $1 million and then 5 million and 10 million. And I think people just don't. They just want to buy a lottery ticket and try to win whatever. But my question here is, because of meme coin explosion on Solana, on Base, and all of this attention is going to these community coins, do you think that real projects that have real technology and real teams are getting overlooked because people are too focused on trying to win the lottery of meme coin town? Or what do you think? I know we had meme coins back in the last bull market, but nothing like this. I think it's kind of, it's everyone's attention is on memes right now, I feel like.
I'd love to touch on that just briefly and then pass it over to one of the other speakers. But I also just kind of want to take a second and just kind of say like, wow, Sensei, like this is a really, really cool panel. Like I'm just surprised with like everything everyone has said so far. Like shockingly, like learning so much from everybody. I have been thinking about this lately. So I think that what's really unique about Web3 is there's just so much to do here. And I don't think we've really figured out how it all integrates with each other, because I think you propose a really amazing question that I feel like is on the top of everyone's brains, in the sense that some people are here to trade and make money. And then some people are here to invest in projects and diversify their portfolio. And some people are here to build. Some people are here for community. Some people are here to solve problems. And I don't really feel as an entire community we have figured out how all of that works together cohesively. But I do feel like we're getting there closer. Like every time passes, we get closer and closer and closer. We figure out a way to incorporate like the alpha calls. Yeah, he does. We have a way to incorporate, like the people that are, waiting to sell their tokens the moment that it's, ungated, but also like figuring out a way how to serve communities that have really amazing projects. But I think that's really speaking to the point that Lady Trader brought up before, is really how important it is to, nurture thought leadership within your community, because out of all spaces, I find that founder marketing, having a founder-led campaign, is probably among the most important forms of marketing in Web3 space. Mm-hmm. It's just so important for us to understand the backers, the team, the people behind the project, because most of us, have been in a situation where we were let down or scammed. And so I find that all of those things working together, it's still a puzzle to me. So I definitely want to pass that over to somebody else on the team and see if they have some more evolved thoughts than I do. But I appreciate the question, Sensei. It's really good.
Thank you, Nix.
Founder-led marketing. Oh, that is really, really good. Really good.
It's something that I love helping people with.
If you need it, Nick's got it. Nick's got it. So, Bobby, did you have something that you wanted to add to this subject? Because I have like one or two more questions that I want to get to, and I know your guys' time is really valuable. I don't want to go too long here. But did you have anything to add on the topic that we were just discussing?
Okay, so we were saying, just circle back. We were talking about taking the attention away from utility based off of meme coin.
Yeah, I think people's attention right now is focused on the wrong thing. Personally, the wrong thing, right? The crypto market is about innovation. It's about great teams building the future of technology, and we're all focused on a cat, a dog, a turtle, a mother, a father. Like I just wonder if people's attention needs to kind of, hey, these are great community coins, and it's good to be a part of this, but let's refocus the attention on what's actually going to drive innovation for the next 10 years.
So I'll be really quick about this one. People will do whatever the fuck they want to do. Like, they are literally going to do what they want to do, right? All you can do is try to provide as much education as you can and help them learn about maybe, a sense of delayed gratification, a sense of self-awareness, being a better human being, leading by example. That's why thought leadership is really important. That's why I love the idea of leadership, leader-led campaigns, where if you have a really good leader, they're fucking solid. You can look to them as a leader, and you can shape yourself around people that you admire, right? Because we're all affecting each other all the time, right? Subconsciously, consciously, all those things. I think memes represent a lot more than just like cat with hat and retard boy or whatever the hell it could be, right? It's just because it's really it's what's happening. You see this massive effect. You see something that doesn't have any utility, reach, $1 billion market cap. Like, I got in on BOEM, day 2, because this guy pushed through into wolf spaces out of anything, and was like, guys, did you hear all the fucking guys behind the scene? They're talking about BOEM. It's going to come out. And I was like, who is this guy? What's going on? I'm like, okay, I'll throw 5 salon at it. No problem. Ended up going to like 1.3 billion. And it was like, just went nuts. Right. So I think it's important to, just educate, be as good of a human being as you possibly can, and show as much as you possibly can, and do the risky thing and put yourself out there, because it is quite risky to be exposed, especially with people, because if you're exposed as a leader, something goes wrong, you're going to get backlash, right? So it's really risky. But I think that, it's going to sort itself out, Sensi. It's going to sort itself out, and there's going to be people that, that are ravers that like to get high all night. And then there's going to be people that go to church and they're like, boom, and then there's going to be people that love to play both sides, right? You can't stop people from doing those things. All you can do is add education and be as much of an example as possible. And then people will coalesce around that, and then they'll have the opportunity to make their own mark. That's as much as I can really say to people. Is you can start as a Discord mod, and you can make yourself up to an advisor and a consultant within 6 months to a year in this space, if you really, really look at how to do this, and you dig in, you build your network, you figure it out. It could start with a meme coin, and you could become the meme coin master. You know what I mean? So
I love that.
I think it's for everybody to decide for themselves, and for us all to make our mark and really be out there in a good way.
I love that, man. I'd like to move on to a new topic here, right? Metaverse. Is the metaverse dead, right? Is the reality of bringing 1 million people or 5 million people into a virtual world where we can share experiences together? I felt like the last bull market, like all these people were talking about the metaverse, and through the bear market, I didn't hear anything about the metaverse. And now I don't really see too much metaverse projects happening. Is that whole narrative dead, or is it just maybe silently building?
I would like to chime in there. So I think there's definitely big opportunity there. And that's what we need to look for, right? That's why I emphasize so much on gaming, because that's one category where we have not seen big moves yet. Metaverse is the same thing. It's like one of those hidden gems that you got to keep an eye on. So yeah, there's definitely opportunities there. I think we are going to see more adoption, but there's going to be much more than that. It's not going to be just like a regular metaverse of what we saw. We could have like metaverse with digital twins, for example, things like that, right? right? Where like AI integration within metaverse. So I think there's definitely room there. And then also from I know that there were some universities that were looking into that as well. Like there were metaversities that was a term that was thrown around as well not too long ago. So there are definitely things that are happening in the background. We are just not seeing it yet as much, but definitely there is room for that. I do have part of my portfolio is invested in metaverse projects as well. Just one of those areas that we need to keep an eye on. Also, going back to your previous discussion, Sensei, because that was an important question you asked, was are we focusing on the wrong thing right now, right? With meme coins being out there. So just a very quick thing that I would mention here. This happens pretty much every bull run. Like start of the bull run, you see these kind of meme coins coming out. Everybody's focusing on that until the money then starts moving into the legit projects and the IDO season begins. You know, all of those things. I think right now there is a bit of a worry from the investors perspective, because the projects that are launching right now are launching at a much bigger, much higher valuation. Two, there is vesting, so you're only getting 10% at launch.
Yeah.
That is very, very concerning to investors. And so, those are big areas. And then third, you're not seeing the kind of returns that you're expecting. But once the market improves, what starts to happen is that you're going to start seeing 100% tokens circulating at TGE. And we need to get to that until we can actually see some action in legit utility-based coins. But right now is the time, right? When there's fear in certain sectors, that's when you need to invest, right? That's where the money is to be made. And then eventually we are going to get to the point where utility-based tokens are going to take over. So yeah, just wanting to add that.
I love that. Ben, did you want to add anything?
Brother, we could talk for hours about this. Like flat out, we could talk for hours about metaverse. So I'll give you my short version.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. Metaverse is here to stay. 10,000 fucking percent. And here's the reason why. It's because people still haven't figured out the black box. The black box is when you can unlock digital economies within a metaverse, and the metaverse is a platform messages properly and curates their messages to specific consumer profiles. So Metascene is a good example of this. And we almost launched them through NeoLaunch. Cool project. They're basically an open concept metaverse, but they don't talk about metaverse. They talk about an open concept gaming experience. And that's the fucking key. The reason why no one can talk about metaverse today is because people lost a fuck ton of money last bull market. Metaverse became hot towards the end of the market. People got engaged and involved. VCs lost a lot of money. Retail lost a lot of money. But here's the reality is there is endless amounts of opportunity with metaverse, and the issue has always been retention. Decentraland is the perfect case study. Is they weren't able to convert the noise and attention they got to retention and user acquisition. And so when we can fill these digital environments and these spatial experiences with brands that make you want to give a fuck, and these brands learn how to build, that's really going to be the success there. Like we just signed. It's funny. Lady Trader Rod just brought up. It's funny she talked about 100% TGE unlock and metaverse. We just pen to papered a deal with an Animoca lead ticket, and their go-to-market strategy is 100%, or the vast majority of it is around a Mocha-verse integration that also has 100% TGE unlock. And so it's kind of like the melding of a bunch of different topics that we're talking about here. Yeah. But yes, Sensei, you should 1000% do a metaverse specific show. Bring us back on. One of my co-founders is a specialist in metaverse as well. I would love to delve deep in this topic, but no way in hell is it gone. It's just going through a little bit of a rebrand. Like the ICOs are a dusted of the past, and now we talk about it as IDOs. Just needs a smidgen of a rebrand. And
I think there's a hardware issue as well too, and a tech issue. Metaverse, like I think we're just way too early, and it was a narrative too early. And like I just hope that, say, that the AI or gaming narrative, this market doesn't turn out the same thing where there isn't a lot that comes out of it. I mean, AI is much bigger than crypto, and hopefully there's, very specific utilities that come forward. I mean, me and Lady Trader are involved in a project called Twin Protocol that has some very specific AI properties that are going to be much bigger than crypto, but has an economy base in it. It's just metaverse, in my opinion, needs some more time developing the computer technology, GPU, and all the tech behind it to run these massive operations, which are just incredible. They're just huge, right? So where I don't think it's like it's going to be something. It's just like when you have people buying the goggles, the Apple goggles, and the different headsets and stuff. my experience has been people bought them, have used them, and kind of got tired of them. It's not immersive enough. They're not having these experiences that maybe it was portrayed as being. But I think that it will come eventually. It's just the technology needs to be there to support it, and I just don't think it's quite there yet. And this is what happens in crypto. You'll see in 2026, the markets will be low, but at that time is the time to listen very closely about the whispers of the next narrative. Because honestly, if you want to make money, it might not mean that you're investing in something that's going to be around in 2 years or 3 years from now. Yeah. It's going to be like listening to what people are talking to early and what's going to come up, right? Those narratives, because people literally don't do their research a lot of the time, and they just throw
they rely.
That Alex Becker's talking about. You know what I mean? So it's like,
what, to add on to what you're talking about here, Poppy, and I don't know how much time you guys have. If you guys need to drop, I totally get it. But what you're talking about here is people I think a lot of people don't understand when they need to take profits. I think people see something going up 100% or 200% in a day. They don't take that seriously. They're like, oh, it'll keep going, right? And everything needs to come down, readjust. I think, people need to spend a little bit more time educating themselves on when to take profit, maybe when to I can't remember the verb right now, but I think taking profit's a huge thing. I wanted to last ask, old bull market versus new bull market. Are you guys focused on tokens that were around in the last market in 2021 or before that? Or is your capital focused on new tokens, new economies, and new ideas?
I can chime in here. So for my portfolio, obviously I have to have most of the top 200 coins in my portfolio. And so like top 200 altcoins. Okay. So that's one area that I have to be diversified enough. And then obviously anything else after that is just bonus, because I know that those top 200 coins are going to be the ones that are going to be making me money. Maybe some of them will do 10x, some of them might do 100x. I don't care, but they all have to be on my portfolio. Other than that, yes, I'm looking for IDOs. I'm looking at all of the new stuff that's coming out. Tier 1, if they have good backers, and a Mocha, Spartan, sign me up. I'll look into that, definitely. So looking for that, obviously valuation plays an important role, but not just looking at everything that was previously launched, but obviously top 200 that have already been launched. So looking into those, and then looking into what's coming out next. What are going to be the bigger narratives? And then also, right now, the biggest market that I could see biggest potential in is the small cap coins that are listed on Binance. I mean, huge potential there, right? Small cap coins listed on KuCoin, huge potential there. Like a lot of people are not looking there. And so, especially Binance listed, Coinbase listed even, right? And I was able to find some of those plays as well, and, diversified more. They are not top coins yet, but they are listed on Binance. So those are, I think, two areas that we should be focusing on as well.
I love that. Anybody else have anything to share on old market versus new market? And I just have one more question after that, and we'll. Anybody have anything to say, Ben?
Yeah, dude. I would only add, and probably it's just a luxury of the position and how often we deal with like launch strategies through Neolaunch and what we do. And Poppy probably resonates being an advisor and a strategist in the space. And I know Raw has some amazing insights as well. Now more than ever, there is an exorbitant amount of focus that needs to be placed on launch strategies, specifically around liquidity, which platforms you're using, which market makers you're using. And so I pretty much, in Neolaunch too, we did a couple different launches, and now our entire thesis is around, are you going to let us be involved and engaged with your launch strategy and go to market strategy? If the answer is no, we're not interested in you, because so many people have fucked up how they actually go to market.
Yeah.
Like we've seen fuckers that added their DEX listing liquidity at IDO price, which, if you know anything about the space, is a huge no-no. You're killing yourself from day one, and everyone that trusted you to get to that point. And that's the thing, man, is like Poppy nailed on head too early. It's like, yes, you can become an advisor and a consultant in the space, but there's too many people that want to tell you they know what they're doing and don't actually have a fucking
Fair enough. Yeah. You will get roasted. Like, you will get roasted if you just try to do things that you don't know how to do. But one key thing is get yourself surrounded with people that are much better than you, because when it comes down to it, you can always subcontract. You can get people that are fucking smarter than you to do those things, right? But you're right. There's a lot of idiots.
That is one of the best points that you can take out of this conversation. Surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. I know that we all think we are God's gift and we know everything, but really, like, this is why I have this panel right here, because these people are smarter than me in a lot of areas, and I'm trying to upgrade my thinking, my narrative, my thesis, and these people are helping me do it. So I hope you're taking that piece of advice. That's probably one of the strongest pieces of advice you can get from this chat. One last question. Well, first, I want to thank everybody who's been watching. 212 people live. That's really great. Thank you so much. Ben is the CEO of NeoLaunch. If you need to talk, if you want to launch a project, Ben is definitely someone that you want to talk to. And Nix is the amazing person that helps their team. Definitely contact them. If you want to market your crypto project, you need to talk to Lady Trader and Poppy. These two are one of the best people that I know in the space that have connections everywhere. So if you need help doing any of these things, please reach out to these people. The link in the description has their Twitter accounts. Go ahead and send them a message. I'd really appreciate that. Last but not least, when are you guys selling? When is this bull market going to be over? When are we taking all of our profit and going and doing something else for a little while?
It's over now. Sell, everybody. It's over now. Sell and get out. Everything's crumbling.
All right, lady, you got something?
Yes, absolutely. So I
Please.
follow historical data, and I have a track record, a very good public track record of nailing down the tops and the bottoms when it comes to crypto market, alongside with my community. And so I was able to buy in November of 2022 when everybody was selling and scared and getting out of crypto, and crypto was going to die. That's when I bought, right? When there's blood in the market, that's when I go shopping.
Yeah.
And I sell when everybody's selling their homes to buy Bitcoin. And okay, so that's my criteria.
I love that so much.
So I'm going to sell starting fall of 2025. That's when I am hoping that the Bitcoin market, according to historical data, is going to kind of top. And hopefully there's still going to be lots of liquidity, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be buying at that point. That always happens. But September and October are 2 months where I'm looking to DCA out of the market, and maybe I'll extend it into November a little bit, but not really. But what I'm expecting is that the markets are going to end around that time, and then obviously there's going to be some fear that's going to start. There's going to be always a question: why do you think market is going to crash? I don't know why, but it's going to crash. I said the same thing end of 2021. 2022 is going to crash, right? And so it's going to be the same thing again. 2026 is going to be bad, but then towards the end of 2026 we are going to be buying. So we can all go on a vacation after we sell, and then come back after a year and buy back when there is blood in the market, and then basically prepare for the next. I'm already actually preparing for the next bull run, which is going to be in 2029, right? That's the big bull year that I'm already keeping basically my eyes on. And so I like to be ahead of the game, and that's my strategy.
So is crypto going to be dead for that time, lady? Is from 2026 to 2029, or are we just going to be like...
No. Just 1 year. So 2026 is going to be the dead year, right? So 2026 is going to be like 2022. And then towards the end of 2026, we are going to start to see markets bottoming out. There's still going to be fear. But those who got in towards the end, like before 2026 ends, they are going to be the rulers of the world, right? So that's when you need to get in and hold when there's fear in the market. And then market is going to bottom out at the end of 2026. There's just going to be lots of opportunities to buy at that point. And then it's going to be similar to what we saw in 2023, right? That's how 2027 is going to be. And so, and then we are going to go into the halving, which is going to be the next year after that. And really, that's how it's going to play out. 2028 is the next Bitcoin halving.
So check this out. 2023, we were at the depths of disparity. That's when I built my network. That's when I built my connections. That's when I built my relationships, my fundamental relationships, and things that I started 6 months ago, people that I met 9 months ago, now are giving me like substantial consultancy deals and retainers, advisory deals. I'm also preparing for the next market. My firm is taking its time to develop right now. Business is already happening. Branding, website, all that stuff will be happening, and I'm doing it right now. It's happening, but I'm doing business, blah, blah, blah. But then it's like next market is like the multi-million market, because I know how the system works, and I'm setting it up so that I can be a part of the next market in a really good way. And it's really interesting because like last market, what is it? We're in June now. So in about 12, 13, 14, 15 months or so, since about April last year, I've been a part of raising $2 million. Half of that was before the bull market, right? So there's still stuff to do. if you learn, we were talking about like learning how to make like a big amount of money, like millions of dollars in the space. If you can learn how to be in the space and be sustainable in your revenue, then you've done more than what 90% of people currently are doing in the space, which is making nothing or losing money. So if you can learn how to be sustainable in the market, they're finding a niche and providing something. Maybe it's becoming a KOL and getting an ambassador fee, per month, or maybe it's doing some fundraising or being a super connector and having a network that you charge, success fees on connecting people. Like, this conversation is an example. Okay. So Ben, works and runs a launch pad. Okay. I advise on a launch pad. I also have massive amounts of connections, fundraising, all those things. After this meeting, me and Ben are going to jump into the DM and have a conversation because we just met and we know that's how you build a network, right? Yeah. It's like, he doesn't even know this, but he knows this, right? So it's just like, you learn and you grow, and, there's a cycle, and Lady Trader's right. There is a cycle. Look at what happened in the past, and you got to get a similar idea and just like, look at the bigger picture, zoom out, look at the bigger picture. What can you do in 10 years instead of 6 months, right? And that's something you can do good, because if you can retire in 10 years, holy shit, man. The rest of your life is there, right? Maybe you won't retire, but if you can, then holy shit, that's amazing, right?
All right, I want to give final thoughts, and then we'll end. Ben, go for it. Final thoughts.
Oh, I was going to touch off the backside of that one, man.
Please, if you want to touch if you want to touch, I didn't know how much time people have, so I'll keep going for like another 10 minutes if you guys want to.
No, just plus one on the Poppy and I going in DMs together, man. You're ahead of me on that one. I already messaged Nick's about it. So yeah, we're on the same page there. What I would say though about the space is, I don't think there's anyone that I know in my network smarter than Lady Trader Rob when it comes to portfolio management. I'm not the expert there. Sensei, we were talking before, I'm launching projects out the fucking ass, 20, 30 plus projects a week. So I don't have time to manage my portfolio. What I will say, my bold prediction to counter Lady Trader Rob's meme coin ETF prediction earlier, is that we will never go below $45,000 Bitcoin ever again. Ever. I think last bear market was exacerbated because we had FTX, which was gaining reputational traction on the mass scale. I mean, listen, I'm a baseball dude. Those fuckers, the umpires wearing the FTX uniforms was saying something.
They burned those quick though. They burned those quick after.
Absolutely. And so that's the thing. I think last bear market was over exaggerated in terms of price action. And I think if we look at, psychologically, what markets do, the storming, norming, forming, storming, norming, performing, right? I think we are past the early kind of adopter when it comes to just basic market psychology, and we're gonna see people move away from speculative trading, and we're gonna start looking at the builders that Nick was talking about earlier. And the builders generally have a little bit more resiliency. Listen, I'm probably wrong. That's my gut, though. My gut tells me, and I don't have historical data to back it up. All I'm saying is what I'm seeing in my network is that people are here to stay. And I said that when I saw El Salvador stockpiling last bull market as well. So we'll see. But digressing, and if we're doing final thoughts, man, listen, just a bunch of cool fucking people here, a bunch of cool people in the audience too. And it's Sensei, bring this panel together again, man. Let's have some fun. This has been a blast on my end.
I love it. Nix, I know you have something to say. We would love to hear it. What are your final thoughts on what we talked about, or the market, or if you want to talk about the weather, whatever you want. Let's hear your final thoughts.
When do I not have something to say? I will second Ben on what he said about Lady Trader. I do have one of my favorite stories of all time. Is we were in a trading group, not her group, a different group together, and she gave me sort of like a tip on when to sell, and the rest of the people didn't agree, but I followed Lady Trader's advice, and she was right.
Yeah, she usually is.
She the way that she really researches, like we were learning how to read charts together, but I mean, she takes it next level, guys. So obviously do your own research, but yeah, please go look her up. She's amazing with those things. So the weather, no, I'm just kidding. I do want to.
You're wild. You're wild.
Sorry. I do want to say I really would love to attend a metaverse talk if you want to set that up. I have so much to say about that, and I will end there. But just thank you for having me on this panel, and I just love all the people here so much. Like, I just can't, there's no words.
Really quickly before I go to Lady Trader and Poppy, Lady Trader has an active community. If you want access, please reach out to her on Discord. This chat was brought to you by my community, Cryptonaires. If you want more information on Cryptonaires, there's a link down in the description. You know, we're all sharing what we're doing, our goals, our dreams in crypto, and it's a really great conversation happening in all of those places. So if you want to access those communities, I think, Ben, you guys have a community too? Poppy, do you guys have communities?
Yeah, I mean, Neolaunch is a private investment club, man. So
there you go.
Join our Discord, get engaged involved. We just like bullshitting with people and having a blast. So
there you go. Ben has a lot of fans in the audience. Go to their Discord and DM him away. I want to give final thoughts to Poppy, and then I want Lady Trader to take us out. So Poppy, go ahead and unmute and lay it down for us. What are your final thoughts on the market? Whatever you want to say, Ben.
Yeah, this has been really cool. I really enjoyed it a lot. You know, I like where, you know, our relationship is going, Sensi. You know, I like the people that are here are all like, you know, nice people that I've worked with before, whether it's been raising money or deal flow. I'm looking forward to working with, you know, Neolaunch in some form or way. There's, you know, lots of synergies that can take place there. And yeah, I guess like one of the big things for me is just, I see in the chat, Pappy the dog in the back. It's so adorable. Yeah, that's my dog Tucker. He's a golden retriever, and my cat Goose hangs out around here. I got like open concept office here in my house, but yeah, you know what? Just like, guys, I think it's really important to be yourself in this space, be as authentic as possible. It's interesting. It's very interesting. One of my mentors and a person that really actually, you know, has had a big effect on me as an individual in this space is, you know, Anthony Papagliano. And he once said, you know, there's a lot of really shitty people in this space. As we all know, there's a lot of bad actors and shitty people. If you work in the space, you don't have to work with them. Find good people and stick with them and work with them, because everybody here is good people. And, you know, we know that there's some form of trust we can develop, and our time, our energy, and our attention is very, very valuable. It's the most valuable thing, even more valuable than $1 million, because really that's just our time, energy, and intention put into some type of monetary, you know, substance that can be, you know, exchanged over time, you know, can be bartered, all those different things, right? Really look at how you're spending that and who with. So for example, after this meeting, me and Crypto Sensei have an advisory meeting for fundraising, and with, you know, an amazing new company that I'm helping, you know, raise a substantial amount of money for and advising on. So it's like, after this meeting, we're going to jump into something, and we're going to, you know, focus into something beautiful for the Cryptonaires community. Also, you know, Lady Trader might be involved. Maybe this is something Neolaunch might want to be involved in as well too. But it's just, that's very important. And another thing, you know, they talk about touching grass. Make sure you step away from your keyboard and go do things to help yourself feel good, because that's who you bring to the space, is that good energy, right? If I wasn't doing Latin dance or acro yoga or rock climbing or going out, you know, dancing and doing the shit that I do, there's no way I could be happy and authentic in the space and have the energy that I bring to the space and continue showing up and getting wrecked sometimes. I lost $1 million last year. I lost like 500, 600,000 on a scam. You know what I mean? Like, and you gotta be like, you gotta keep going with this. This is the Wild West of finance, right? So I believe in everybody. Anybody that has anything they want to talk about, always feel to reach out. I don't have a community per se, but I'm a part of a lot of amazing communities. So check me out on X or any of those things. I'll be around, but you know, I appreciate you guys so much. Rob, appreciate you so much and what you do. Good authenticity, and I'll be coming to Hawaii here pretty soon, I'm sure.
you know what? Speaking about losing money, really quickly, I had a Sensei market update that are free, people can attend, and I talk about the market, I talk about projects. I was trying to buy a meme token called Let's Fucking Go, and I was posting it in my Discord. I posted it everywhere. It's 200K market cap. My bonk bot kept failing. It failed 9 times. I was trying to do my chat and buy this token at the same time. It did 150x, and I didn't get into it at 200K. I was trying to buy like $2 or $3 grand worth, so I missed about maybe a $300,000 or $400,000 win right there over the last 2 months because my bonk bot failed. So I know what it is to have something there and to completely lose it.
One more thing. I'm sorry, guys. The portal round, I had access to the angel round. It was a minimum of 20K, and I just got off a real bad loss. There's a scam that I was a part of. It was a big thing for me last year. I lost $500,000 on it, and it was really tough, right? And I had at that time, I had a lot of investments set up, but I was sitting on 60, 70K liquidity. I was like, there's no way I can invest. I'm a dad. I can't invest 20K right now into one project. I just can't. And seeing that happen where that 20K, even just that TG was worth over $200,000 and I could have just sold on that. Those type of things are like, ugh, but it shows you what's possible in this space, right? It shows you what, one big win, one big relationship, one big thing can really help amplify stuff. And if you can be consistent, you're going to get some of those. So yes, keep going, guys. Keep going.
I love it, man. There's so much inspiration here. Lady Trader, take us out. Take us home.
Absolutely. So a few reminders, really. This bull run, don't be scared. We are just getting started, right? Make sure that I cannot emphasize enough on this. Study charts, study historical data. It's very important, super important. Otherwise, you're going to keep wondering, when should I get out? Should I get out now? Should I, get out after 6 months? Don't do that to yourself. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. Make sure that you're taking full advantage of it until the end of the bull run, right? Be sure to do that. Another thing I would mention is that, what an amazing panel today, guys. This is what makes me so happy, because it feels like we are all great at what we do, and then we are coming together, we are collaborating. Web3 is such a beautiful place. There is really not a lot of, it's not really a competition. It's like everybody's just trying to help each other. Everybody's collaborative. It's like amazing, so much positivity and everything. Papi mentioned wellness, focus on yourself, all of those things. And then risk management. Guys, don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Don't do that. Be careful there, right? Proper risk management is so important. That's coming from the hedge fund raw. Make sure that you're keeping that into consideration. What a great panel today. Thank you so much for hosting us.
You know what? I think we're going to have a pet panel here, a crypto pet panel. I love everybody here. It seems to be an animal lover. You got Poppy there. You got Ben showing off their animals. I can't thank you guys enough. I think there's still 227 people watching. And I think people, if you come back or you're just joining this, if you go back to the beginning and you really start to listen to what everybody's saying here, you have so much experience, so much knowledge, so many people failing and learning and growing not to fail. There's so much here that you can take out of this to better educate yourself, to be more productive in this bull market, to do more, to actually get to a place where you can support yourself fully in crypto. I think is really what a lot of people are trying to do. And the only way you're going to get there is to invest the time and energy and following the right people. And everybody on this panel are the right people, coming from their hearts, their minds, their business acumen. They know what they're doing. So please give them a follow, give them some love. We will bring them back as soon as they want to come back. And I just greatly, really appreciate everybody's time. Ben, Nix, Lady Trader, Poppy, and all of the animals, send my love. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate your time, energy, and that you attended this. It really means a lot to me. So I'll see you next time. Aloha, and have a great weekend. Go touch some grass, as Poppy would say.
Much love, guys. Take care.
Aloha. All right. That was great.